Rizky, how are you doing?
You got in just before it started, just in time.
Perfect.
Oh dear, my Twitch app crashed. Thanks, phone. Rip chat.
Alright, I'm just finishing getting ready for this.
We just got going. They're currently in the cutscene right now. So the intro stage, a 36-second unskippable cutscene that you can do nothing about. Fun. But the intro stage, in my opinion, is pretty much just here to justify showing off the fact that you can play as Zero later on. Hey, look, it's Zero. He has a saber. You can only use him in very rare occasions. Although in the PC port of this game, he has a lot of extremely good uses. That Nordrin, I believe, showed off when he did his last race. Such as being able to switch to Zero and immediately pick up items as soon as they spawn on screen, without having to actually go to them.
Pretty convenient.
I actually went and looked for the PC version of the game.
Oh my.
It's not easy to find a download for that.
I figured that.
Now you see we switched to Zero. Pretty much taking care of all the enemies, trying to minimize as much lag as possible. It actually looks like 8-Bit has a bit of a lead.
Pretty neck and neck.
He's... Oh, Madu took a little hit there.
Intro stage pretty much execution heavy. You want to go fast, there are no RNG, and a miss jump or a boulder that hit you when you're not expecting it can make you fall down, and it's quite annoying to deal with. Both going for the left wall strategy.
Yeah, if 8-Bit actually ran this game consistently, he would most definitely have a really good time in it. Considering what he's managed to do with X6, and that's not really an easy game to run. The only bit of RNG in this stage is with the boss here, with whether he wants to punch you or not, and the worst he could do is punch you at the beginning, which will delay your opening shot.
Still, Madu dealing pretty well with the arms coming cross-side, if I can say it that way. Really making all the way down to the other side of the stage, so most of the time they're gonna hit you, and if you release the shot at that time, you're gonna lose the shot and have to recharge again. So we did a really nice job there, avoiding that.
Someone actually pointed out in chat that Madu might be slightly ahead due to the timers being somewhat unsynced. But that was...
There...
Oh, what's happening? No, computer, no! Now
I would say that there may be half a second difference. Even with the timer. Madu may be in the lead though. So,
hey now, Michael Linden. X6 is a really good speed game. Come on now, boy.
So
it might not be the best game, but it's good.
I cannot say, to be fair. Never played it.
It's not... It's really difficult casually, but that's mostly due to a lot of poor level design choices. But as far as like a speed game goes, it's really good. It's really interesting to watch it. There's a lot of very strange tech you can do in it with a saber.
But right now we are in an X3 tournament. Let's not forget about that. At the final stage, ice physics for the first time in the game, the last time, and we're not sorry or sad about that. The ice physics is pretty interesting, but can be quite difficult to deal with.
Usually what you want to do in this stage is you want to maintain the speed boost you get off of those ice slopes as long as you can. As you can see, Madu just did right there, same with 8-Bit. You want to use every single one you can, and you want to maintain that speed boost as long as possible. And another strange thing, the ice physics in this actually are bugged, where if every jump to the left is always a slope jump. And in the XC version of this, every jump period is a slope jump, regardless of whether you're on ice or not. But I'm not going to talk about that version because it's weird. Bit of a misfire there from Madu. Madu actually
the CFO strat is quite difficult, a lot of timing to do. You want to make sure that you release your Lemon at the right time to hit Buffalo when his iframe are gone. And in the meantime, when he's on iframe, you're charging for the yellow charge to be able to release it. That strategy is 3 to 5 seconds faster than just jumping, as I believe 8Bits did.
A lot of the time that Madu just took over 8-bit was because of CFO. It saves a good 2 seconds or so if done perfectly. That Madu did have a bit of a misfire, so he probably took about a second on him. Most of that probably was actually, now that I think of it, most of it was probably just from the stage. And that stage is very, very, very movement heavy.
And we get to experiment with the air dash. Both air dash straightforward or the up dash, which can, as you can see, improve your movement quite a lot, especially in this section.
And one thing to note that I actually didn't know until just a little bit ago, the streams of sewage there apparently do slow you down. So you'll see, you saw Madu actually dash jumping out of it even when he was on the flat ground. He's trying to stay out of the sewage as much as possible.
It's not that much, but saving frame is pretty much what we do as speedrunner.
Yeah, it's every little bit counts, especially if it's like almost no consequence to doing it.
So the mini boss, you have to hit him with. Oh wow!
Wow!
I didn't even have to speak; it was already over. I have never seen it done that way. It was pretty sweet and smooth.
His weakness, that mid-boss's weakness, actually looks like 8-bit does have a little bit more ammo, surprisingly.
I think he started with a buster, maybe.
Yeah, he might have started with a charge shot there, so that probably is why. But that boss's weakness is ice, and there are 2 ways to do it. You can either hang on to the left wall and just buster mash him down, or you can use ice and risk not having enough ammo for Seahorse, but you shouldn't have to worry about Seahorse as long as you have at least half ammo or more. There should be no problem at all.
As long as one of the problem I had when I started learning that fight is that if you start mashing too fast before he's actually vulnerable while in iframe, you're gonna waste a lot of ammos. As you can see, he's not starting to mash as soon as he hit the ground. He has to wait a little bit.
Madu actually did a little thing there. I'm not sure if that was on purpose, but he actually took a bonk on him to make sure that he was only hitting him when he was vulnerable, which is actually a really smart thing to do.
Ooh.
Oh, 8-bit, you are playing with danger, my boy.
Oh, that was...
Got him. Okay.
That was scary. 1 HP and Seahorse jumped to him pretty close. I was sure it was over there, but nice job saving that.
Okay, Seahorse. Probably should explain that. Forgot about that. Seahorse's iframes are glitched, in that the latter part of his invincibility frames are non-functioning, so he's vulnerable to take damage every single frame for a good chunk of time. I don't know the exact amount of time, but it is variable, and it's depending on how high you hit him on the initial stun shot. The higher you hit him on the stun, the longer you have to just constantly mash him down. Bosses in this game have glitches like that.
Yeah, and if done perfectly on Seahorse and another boss coming up later, you can do them in 2 cycles. But you have to be a really good masher and with execution.
I would say, well, I wouldn't say anyone's either harder than the other. Seahorse is really, really hard to time to get a proper 2 cycle. And then Crawfish, you just have to have a really good arm for mashing. A bit of a route divergence here, actually. 8-bit opting to go to Tiger third. Madu going to Rhino, and unfortunately getting bit. And it's not really that big of a deal where you get bit in this run, but generally it's preferred to not get him in Rhino since you're risking losing some health on him if he starts giving you a bad pattern.
He's using a safety strat there. It doesn't seem like it when you don't know about that. But if you take a bomb from Bit directly, you only take 1 damage, and the ball he's shooting does 4, I believe.
It's either 4 or 6. I want to say it's 4.
So losing 4 damage in that stage is pretty scary.
Especially, it's not too bad if it's later on in the stage after the mid-boss, but with the mid-boss, the way you fight him, you get onto his bottom half and just mash him as much as you can. And you want to have as much health as possible because the last chunk of this stage is extremely difficult to get through without taking some sort of damage.
Usually, people go through taking 2 damage only, but still, as you can see, he's still under half HP. He was not full, but if you go there with too low HP, you're gonna end up.
Did drop a big health there, but he didn't bother. He decided not to get it. He did get a small health drop. He does have 8 HP, so he can survive most hits here. However, the big boulder enemies, when he's past those now, he's more than good enough on health for Rhino, unless something catastrophic happens. Which kind of curse.
For Tiger fight, there's a lot of pattern you can do. Pretty much the most RNG boss we have in this run.
Generally,
yeah, go ahead.
With Tiger, what you want him to do is what he's doing now, is just sit on the bottom and just constantly fire at you. However, having him do that pattern the entire fight without changing anything is extremely rare. Actually, it looks like 8-Bit did get a very good pattern on, no dashes. But the usual thing is, at the very least, you don't want him to dash, because that wastes a lot of time.
Since he becomes invincible when he's doing so.
There is a small backup in any percent where once he's past the threshold of where he can do dashes, you stay as close as you can and mash him down. And if you notice him, and if you react quick enough, you can just jump and air dash over him, and he'll immediately stop his charge. And it'll save a good little bit of time. So it cuts the charge time probably by about half.
But if you're low on HP, you may not want to do that strategy. If you
it's very dangerous.
If he actually managed to hit you with his claw, he's gonna do 8 damage, if I recall.
Yeah, it's 8 damage with a claw. I think it's only when he swipes you. I don't believe it's 8 damage if you just bonk him when he's...
No, it's not. It's 4, if I recall. It's still a lot, but the claw do 8 damage.
I mean, a 4 damage is still a 4-shot kill, and if he gives you like 4 or 5 charges, it's not going to be good.
Which can happen. You can start that move when he is low.
I'm actually not sure what the exact health amount is.
It's not half. I'm sure about that, but still, you can do it, and you can have trouble to get double hit on him, so you only do 1 damage on every single cycle, which can be pretty troublesome.
Yeah, he's actually one of the other bosses that has somewhat of a glitch with his iframes. When he starts an attack, a new attack, his iframes actually completely reset, so you can do 2 damage to him relatively quickly. But that's only when he's on the ground. That doesn't work when he's just sitting on the wall like that. 8-Bit actually having a little bit of trouble with the kill here, but he's still pretty well off on health.
Yeah, still doing kind of a safe strat when you know what you're doing. Standing behind him, you won't have to worry about his arms. So you can just jump and shoot a charge shot to keep damaging him.
I believe 8-Bit may have gotten the Heart and Tiger or Seahorse. I don't remember which one, but he definitely looks like he has a little bit more health than...
he got one in Tiger.
And now you see why this stage is so dangerous. Those boulder enemies in particular take 8 damage off you. He's still okay on health, as long as he's careful. And it's a good thing he picked up that large health that the mid-boss dropped there, because else he would be dead.
No charge as well.
Madu got got a very good pattern. And one thing to note about Rhino is You see in the fight, he'll just charge back and forth, but if you actually die, I believe in the latter half of the stage, it will completely change his AI. He'll have more attacks, he'll start juking you earlier. But if you just get to him without dying...
He actually has a lot of attack, and kind of. You can shoot drill at you, you can shoot them 3 ways, so if you're not careful, you're gonna get hit, and...
Generally, the worst thing,
kind of
in my experience, is when he fires out the 3 drill burst that just goes straight because it's so hard to dodge it.
Oh, that strat is so nice on Catfish. That left wall is really hard to pull off.
I don't think I've even seen. Oh, we're gonna see this.
Not using it though.
Yes, we are. That is one of the coolest strats, I swear. Madu himself actually found that, and I'm not even sure how it works.
I think you take damage after shooting a drill to the guy on the ceiling right before that. Not sure exactly, but it's kind of related to that.
Something about that electrical field those things fire out, and a drill causes it to actually attach itself to the elevator, where you can just use the damage boost up there to the spike, past the spikes.
Because he actually did use the drill, which normally you use to go through enemies, but he actually took damage still.
Yeah, which that's a very strange little glitch. It was only just found recently. I believe 8-Bit... No, he did not fight Bit. Alright, 8-Bit is actually going to get Bit here.
Which is not a bad stage to have that fight. You have a lot of enemies coming up, and you can use the ice in this game to have a guaranteed HP drop from floor and ceiling enemies.
This stage in particular is where I prefer to fight him. Just because Tiger can be a dick and Rhino is Rhino. Not a bad fight for 8-Bit. Took a few hits in there, but he's still more than good enough on health.
Was that a 5 drills? Didn't seem like Catfish cooperated.
Actually, I actually did not see. Surprised 8-Bit actually didn't go and get a little health pickup there.
He's confident.
Catfish can be a bit of a dangerous fight.
If you don't try to go for the 1 drill or to lower your drill count on him, the fight is not that bad as long as you know his pattern.
This attack in particular is the most dangerous part, I would say, is because it is fairly hard to dodge if you don't react to it quick enough.
That's why I always stand really close to him in case he does that attack, because the hitbox for the attack doesn't start right off. Right one is coming out of Catfish, so you have a little bit of space between Catfish hitbox and the Drill Thunder.
Oh dear, I think that was a 7 drill fight.
Must have missed a charge shot there. You want to make sure you use a yellow charge on every hit you do to at least get a max of 6 drill.
Madu with a very nice pauseless fight on Bite there, getting him out of the way as quick as possible. Which a 7 drill fight, unfortunately, the fight loses 3 seconds exactly, not exactly, but around that per drill. So the difference between a 7 drill and a 1 drill is around 18 seconds, which is huge. So that's another... Catfish is another boss that's quickly becoming another heavy hit of RNG in this game, outside of just Tiger. If you're going for like a world record in this game, he probably actually matters more than Tiger, getting a good fight on him.
So if you get 3 or 4 charge on Tiger, if you're trying to go for the best time ever, probably a reset.
Ideally, the best run you're gonna have is a God pattern on Tiger where he just sits on the floor the whole time, and a 1 drill Catfish. And you can get a 0 drill fight on Catfish, but it actually is technically faster to get a 1 drill.
So the secret stage for Vile, you have to go through that stage in any percent to get an upgrade later in the game. If you don't go through that fight and finish off Vile with the Ray Splasher, as Madu is doing right now, you won't be able to get that upgrade, and one of the stages is going to be switched all over the place.
And the strat with Vile here in any percent is to use 4 yellow charge shots on the mech and then finish off the rest of the fight with a Ray Splasher. You have just enough ammo as long as you don't miss any shots or misfire them.
You have to be careful, though,
be a little careful.
Because if you are shooting the Ray Splasher and you take a hit, it will cancel the shooting. So if you didn't get the hit, then you're gonna be in trouble and have to switch back to Buster to make sure you get another hit in for finishing it.
8-Bit actually fired an extra charge shot, so he should be good. Another thing to note is that doing a vert dash cancels any attack in the game. It'll immediately stop the animation. And this game is a little wonky sometimes. It'll just do random vert dashes. I think he may have just missed a shot there,
yeah,
actually.
He just did, so that's the reason he missed more than one. Oh, alright, we realized that.
He's going to make very absolutely sure he gets in there. And missing... If you don't kill Vile with his weakness, he won't explode. He'll just teleport away. And that prevents you from getting the god item later in the game, I guess you could call it.
So you're switching back to low percent where people don't get the saber and they don't fight. It
wouldn't even technically be low percent because you did kill Vile and that counts towards the percentage.
Yeah, but
I mean, I guess not. Like
he's going to teleport. You're not gonna destroy him if you don't finish him off with the saber, with the Ray Splasher.
Not only will you not be able to get the saber later in the game, which is essential. Oh wow, look at how much health he took off on one cycle. What is this mashing?
And another boss pretty similar to a seahorse. His iframe are bugged, and when you use his weakness, you have to either jump at the right timing or go to the wall and come back. There's different strat for that, meaning that he's gonna use his claw and shooting at you. But you want him to shoot it in the air, so you're able to do as Madu did and stand right in front of him safely and just mash as fast as possible.
And
that one
as you saw Madu do 2 cycle.
Yep, 2 cycle is the best you can get. There's no 1 cycle. I don't even believe the task can make it 1 cycle.
I don't believe the task does. I don't think the task 1 cycles either of the bosses. He might with Seahorse.
Seahorse, I believe it may be the case, but I'm pretty sure Crawfish. Madu mashing there was no mean slow.
Yeah, that's actually
just a limit to how many shots you can shoot to the screen at once. So another double 2 cycle, nice.
Wow. And this is like Mdoy said. This is actually the same exact thing as Seahorse, but with Crawfish, there's no variance in the amount of time he's actually vulnerable. It's always 2 seconds. So that's what 120 frames, where he can take damage each frame. So I guess technically speaking, that's probably not right, or else there would be a 1 cycle in the task. So,
even still for RTA, these Mashers are pretty much the top of their group, if I can call. So I don't think it will be any possible to get 1 cycle.
Yeah, even with frame perfect mashing, I don't think it's a thing. I'm not 100% sure. I will go and check.
Justin mentioned that he think the test does, so I'm gonna check this out. But there we are, another boss already, and I was mentioning Tiger being the most annoying, or Catfish and stuff like that, but Beetle is a beast. Look at him go.
Look at those jumps. How could he possibly execute such hops of glory?
So smooth, so perfect, so useless.
At least it's a good little bit of downtime in the run. Or you can just kind of go on autopilot and turn your brain off.
You can pretty much don't even watch the screen, just keep mashing Race Splasher and move to the other wall and keep mashing and the fight is going to be gone, even if you didn't check the screen once. Quality
Madu now
AI.
moving on to his last Maverick. See if he goes for low percent kicks here.
We have the up dash, but if you're able to pull...
Oh,
wow, that's the first one.
Oh, didn't quite get the second one. That's unfortunate.
He got hit on the climb there. That kind of throw you off particular setup that people use for that jump. Not everyone use the same, but when you have your own pattern and you get hit or anything about that, it gets pretty hard to figure out where you're supposed to jump. There's no visual cue, really. Not any particular one on the wall for that.
And now we have the Shuriken mini-boss for Hornet, which is just Capcom deciding, oh yeah, we put this really expensive piece of tech inside this cartridge, we should probably use that. And it is one of two mini-bosses in the game that have functioning iframes. That one and Mac. I think you are actually the one who reminded me that Mac existed and had working iframes. So it was either you or someone else. I don't remember who.
I don't think I mentioned the iframe. I did mention that you have to take a break to shoot the buster, or you are not going to hit him. But that's kind of mean that his iframe are actually working, though.
Yeah.
So coming up, the Hornet fight, we're gonna use a charge buster at the start of the fight and switch to the saw, the D blade, I believe.
Yeah.
It's not his true weakness; it's a soft weakness, as we call it. It does 2 damage by hit, and his iframe are pretty short on it, so you can use it pretty fast, as you're saying on Madu.
Yeah, the iframes are only as long as just a normal buster shot would be, since it's not technically his weakness.
Because we didn't mention that, but most of the boss, when you use their weakness, the iframe are way longer than if you were to just
at
use
least
buster.
twice as long as the normal iframes would be, I believe.
So it's 1 second instead of half a second, maybe. I don't know exactly.
I think it's something like 3 seconds. That's the only reason I'm guessing that is because of the catfish. It's about 1.5 seconds or so for.
Yeah, it will make sense. So that's the reason that you see most of people start a fight with Buster, except for Tiger, because he's able to block that shot, to have small, short iframe and switch the weakness when he's on iframe. Keep using it from them.
And Hornet's normal weakness is actually Gravity Well, but that does 4 damage in spaced out increments of 1, so it'll do 1 damage at a time, and it takes forever. Because not only does it take a long ass time to get the 4 damage out, but then you have to wait for the weapon to actually come back to X before you can fire another one.
Does it fall on the ground if you use the regular shot?
No, that's only on charge shot, and that's on the charge shot. You actually have, if you want to do it in any kind of fast manner, you actually have to pause and weapon swap off to make them drop immediately. Or else it will take a very long time for him to actually fall.
I believe you can do at least 3 D-blade shot on him, or if not 4, on the same range of time than his original weakness. So you do about twice.
You do about 3 shots out. So you're doing 6 damage in the time it would take to do 4 with his actual weakness.
That's a lot more when you think about that.
Yeah, that's pretty significant.
Still, it's a lot safer to use the gravity valve than using the blade.
Yeah, if you're just starting running the game, there's no problem in using the gravity well because, like Joy said, it is very, very much safer.
Because he's not able to move for the whole time of the animation, and if you stand close to your shot, it's gonna come back quickly, and you're gonna be able to fire it again, and so on. So he's basically not going to move that much.
Yeah, the only thing he'll do is, in between the time it takes you to fire shots, he'll move from one side of the screen to the other. But he usually isn't going to do much else than that, which seems to be a pattern with a lot of the bosses in this game. They just move from one side of the screen to the other when they get hit with a weakness. Madu on the God Car fight, its full name is incredibly stupid and I can't pronounce it correctly. And this boss is actually very dangerous since he does a minimum of 6 damage, and it's very rare for the 6 damage to actually happen. 8 damage from the saber swings, 18, which I believe is the most powerful attack in the game, technically, from him grabbing you, which it does in 3 increments of 6. And the little beams that the sabers make when they hit the wall do 6. So by the time you get to him, usually most runners are going to have 8 health if you beat the mid-boss correctly. So you cannot take any hits. You have to be perfect in that fight.
And coming up on Madu's side, the most dangerous stage in the game.
Oh yeah. Everything here can 2-shot you. Pretty much every enemy.
And since that was not enough for speedrunner, we have the most difficult skip in the game coming up right at the end of this stage.
And yeah, the good old saber climb. And 8-Bit taking care of D-Rex 2000, which is making a cameo from X1 and Sigma 3.
Oh, that wiggle.
Oof, that was pretty rough.
That wiggle that this mini-boss did on Madu's side, it's all RNG based. I'm not sure exactly about the tech for that, but he can choose to not grab you for a long time.
I think it's every 4 frames there is a new instance of RNG, and overall there's 30 instances of RNG where he can go any direction, well, any diagonal direction, and you want him to go down to the right or down to the left directly towards you the whole time, but that's obviously, it's not going to happen. Like, you're not going to get a perfect pattern on him in RTA ever. It took Hetfield and Zam quite a long time to manipulate that to get even a perfect pattern in TAS, and that's a TAS.
Really well done, Climb.
Madu, once again showing that Brazil is just a little bit too strong in X3.
Yeah, I'm getting shocked by all these banners that I never heard before and that are just destroying the game.
Yeah, especially with this tournament. There's a lot of runners that are just improving incredibly fast. But Madu, I think, has only been running the game since early this year, and he already has in top 10 with an 8%.
You know, we do have Louise as well as Brazilian.
Louise is Louise.
Yeah, but he's Brazilian. Power is all there, it seems.
The only 2 people that have really come close to Louise are 8Guard and Justin. And I don't believe 8Guard is actually in the tourney.
No, he wasn't, but I think he had to drop out. I don't really know the reason, but that happened in tournament.
Which is unfortunate, since he is one of 2 people, along with Louise, to have a 39 in any percent.
He never did? I'm pretty sure I saw his name at some point. You may be right.
Oh, wow, okay. He never entered. Oh, no, you know what? I might be thinking of Z-Wing. Z-Wing did enter, and he actually had to drop out due to work. Which is unfortunate, because I wanted to see him run this game again.
Will happen. Will happen. So, on Madu's side, the refight, there's no specific order to do them. We always do Arnett first, for the reason that is the first capsule and the farthest to the respawn point, so there's no reason to actually avoid that capsule.
And you could see Madu actually pretty much annihilated Seahorse quicker than you could possibly think. And that is due to the same reason that's actually a pretty nice climb from 8-Bit there as well.
That's another 2 runners getting the first try climb. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's actually really cool to see.
Also seems like from 8-Bits in the chat saying that solid gold.
I wouldn't be. He might be on PB pace actually. He's on pretty good pace here. I believe his PB is a 44.
I would not know. I don't have the leaderboard on, but
I think that's what I saw in his splits before the race started.
We missed the quick kill on Crawfish because of the climb. We're not watching. We're pretty much as fast as the Seahorse one. Abusing that tech that you have seen in the 8 Maverick stage.
So the quick kills and then the refights are a little different, a little quicker. They work the same way, but instead of using their weakness to hit them like damage per frame, you swing the saber when they're vulnerable, and it hits for 16 damage per frame. And obviously, that's going to absolutely annihilate anything it touches.
A lot safer to do than the normal fight.
The Seahorse quick kill is actually pretty freaking precise. The Crawfish quick kill, however, is very easy since he has such a long period of vulnerability. Madu just tearing through these refights like he doesn't have any other business.
8-Bit getting the saber jump. After you finish the animation, you're not able to move, but you can actually jump.
You can jump, but it's actually a shorter height than a normal jump, and even a normal jump.
Yeah, but for Buffalo, you don't need to be jumping super high. You just need to leave the floor, so that works perfectly.
It is pretty scary and risky to do that because if you miss, 8-Bit actually getting a nice quick kill on him there too. All right.
Well done. These runners are showing us some nice strat in this game. If you don't already, make sure you follow these runners.
Absolutely. Oh, Madu putting the spoiler in chat said stupid tiger, so something dumb happened. Something dumb did in fact happen. 8Bitisgr8 also getting a quick kill on Crawfish. This is actually a pretty close race, all in all. Neither of them have really had any kind of mistakes.
The refight, though, being pretty straightforward. If you miss a saber, release charge too early, it catfish as an example with a lemon when you're starting to charge again. All kind of thing can happen to make that section just annoying. Not that hard, just annoying.
I believe Madu only took 1 hit on the lasers, which is really good.
Still not seeing any no laser yet in this tournament, I believe.
No, I don't think we have. Madu getting a bit of a risky quick kill there.
Yeah, he was at pretty low HP. If that saber has not hit, I believe that was a death right there.
And right, you see actually the drills that Rhino fired out do eat the saber. So you do need to be careful. And one thing to mention about the saber actually, with the quick kill on Doppler, is that you notice he's looking away from Doppler when he swung the saber. And that's because when you swing the saber, its hitbox is active the moment you swing it. The moment you can see that green beam of the saber, it's active. It can do damage, but it's a little small. But it swings in a 180-degree arc all around X. Obviously, much bigger and longer range when it's in front of him. Fortunately, 8-Bit getting a rainbow here. Hopefully, he doesn't get 2.
The worst RNG you can get in that refight is Tiger, as usual, and Needle, I would say.
Yeah, Beetle's probably the worst RNG you can get. There's always a way around Tiger, but with Beetle, it's just he's straight up invincible for no reason.
Well, isn't that like X2 where every boss can do their desperate movement right off the bat?
I'm fairly, yeah, actually you're right, because Gator. But with X2, it's not usually a problem because you just got a handy one-shot kill right there off the bat.
Yeah, Tiger doesn't do his charge though until he's lower on HP because I never saw it before. Most of the boss seems to be able to do their desperate move. And
Madu is actually looking at a high 40 here, so pretty close to his PB. I believe it between the final hit and the end of the run, it's about 40 seconds, I think Justin said.
I never actually checked that. I'm just always worrying about the lava because
yeah.
you don't want to fall in it. I'm not even. It does 1 damage. It seems like pretty.
It seems trivial, but
yep.
the big killer with the lava is it'll start slowly knocking you over towards those little ledges sticking out of the wall, and those can crush you, and that's going to be an immediate death. Like Madu with a 40-48 RTA and a 40.
Like, it's a 40-46 maybe, according to Justin, for the SR race.
SRL bot gave him a time of 40-50, so very well done to Madu.
Yeah.
That's
one of the top time right now in the tournament, if I recall.
I believe it's the 3rd fastest time, just behind Louise and Justin.
So that's an impressive time.
I believe it's only plus 14 on his actual PB.
Wow.
Or no, plus 12, excuse me. His PB is a 40-36.
That's impressive.
40-37 even. It's a plus 11. I was wrong on every single count. That is a very, very good run for Madu.
So let's see how 8-Bits fight Captain America. Getting the nice first shot there.
Taking that first hit, unfortunately.
He's fine, he's fine.
Ooh, Gambler's.
That's...
It's very good he... Okay, I got scared.
I thought this shot were doing 2 damage, and I was like, it's over, but it seems like I was wrong.
Those first ones before they hit the wall, they only do 1. 8-Bit having a little bit of trouble here. That is dropped inputs from the D-pad, unfortunately.
And why you wouldn't shoot? That's a tag we didn't mention before. I think you will know that still. If you shoot the Buster before using the Saber, if the Buster is still on screen, you're never gonna be able to shoot a Saber. So you have to time that Saber pretty well. We never mentioned
you have to wait for any Buster shot to leave the screen completely or hit something.
So, if you are not careful, that...
Fortunately, jumping a little too early there.
And there it is.
I believe he actually does have enough health since he did get a heart tank.
I think he has 9. Because he took a hit from one of the shooting balls.
So if he has a good Kaiser fight, he'll end up with 1 or 2 HP left.
Just pour in the chat, it would seem. Hope not.
Careful. There you go. 1 health. Whew. A little bit close there. He might actually be close to his PB, even with that death.
If you take the hit there and try to shoot a Saber and you miss, just make sure you dash out of the way as quick as possible if you still have HP. Don't try to rush things, don't try to do another shot, don't try anything else, because you're gonna die, because you're gonna take another hit. So
the minimum amount of damage that Kaiser Sigma does is 8. He does 8 on every attack except for missiles, which do 14 in 1 shot. Which is a little absurd, but you know, it's Mega Man X3.
So that should be hit. is in the safe spot.
And I believe that actually was a PB.
A PB?
It might have been a PB for 8-bit, despite the death.
I mean, having a PB at that time with a death, that's really a... How can I say that? It's really refreshing when you get to the end of the run and you're kind of on a good pace, and you can still take a death and get a PB. So
you missed by 14, so I'm not sure if that was a PB or not.
Oh, that will have been then. So that was a really nice one. Nice little skip. A lot of good tech coming out from both of the runners. What do we have on X face on Madu's side?
I was
the Doc X? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's like a little face of a bird. I'm pretty sure it's Madu's Twitch avatar. I'm not sure who it is, honestly. But it looks funny, so I like it.
So I don't think there's any other X3 match set right now. There will be in the future, but with GDQ coming up, Fizzle won't be able to stream. So the tournament is pushing back forward. Sorry. And so there will be more in the future, but not right now. But coming up next in about an hour is the X2 Chase the Record.
Definitely watch that. Who is in that? I know it's Tiki, I believe Tokyo, Trogdor, and Caleb.
I don't know if there's other people. That's the 4 I heard before. There will be at first a race from the 4 runners, and then all of them are going to go try to get a PB. So some reset, some rage maybe coming up from them. But I'm pretty sure there won't be any give up there.
Okay, yeah. Justin says it's Tiki, Tokyo, Trogdor, and Caleb. They all have... Their times are all separated by seconds. I'll actually go look at that right now. Tiki having the current record of 32.43, Tokyo has a 32.44, Caleb has a 32.46, and Trogdor has a 32.48. So the biggest separation between the runners is only 5 seconds.
That's just... All the 40s are going for that chase the record, but what they are really chasing for is that 3x.
Tiki wants to get a 2x now, I believe.
Yeah, but...
Which is a little crazy, but it's like, what do you expect?
I mean, these top runners are pretty high level play, and
these are the top 4 runners for X2 at the moment. Outside of Hetfield is the only one missing. But
I believe it will be on Speed Gaming. Yes.
I would assume, yeah.
I don't think it's Speed Gaming too. I really believe. Let me just confirm that real quick. So yeah, it will be on Speed Gaming at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you stay tuned, or at least come back. You don't want to miss at least the first race that's gonna happen between the 4 of them, and then stay up to watch them try to destroy the PB with commentary on top of that.
And with that, I believe we're done. Make sure you do go ahead and follow both of the runners, Madu and 8-Bit. Absolutely follow them. Unfortunately, that is the last X3 match scheduled. Like the boys said, SGDQ is coming up, so gonna be a bit of a gap between matches here, unless something happens tomorrow, the 31st or the 1st. And I believe that's it.
Yep, that's pretty much it. So wish everyone a good night, good evening, and a good X to chase the record.
Thank you for watching.